Hello everybody, it is Tuesday the 14th of February 2023 and I'm over at the Everton Stadium, the new Everton Stadium at Bramley Moore Dock to do my midweek video where I get the drone up, have a fly around whilst I address your questions and comments that you put to me on my weekend video. So yeah, it's I'm not going to tell you the exact time because when I do that it results in others watching the video and reporting potential incidents, so unfortunately you won't know the time. But anyway, we'll have a little look before I get up and address these questions and comments. One thing I will say before I make a start is I was at the derby last night. If you haven't seen, I did do a video. I'd do that because you can scroll down on my channel and have a look. I did a video of my experience there. Oh God, Blues, we were brought back down to earth there a little bit, weren't we? But hey, listen, what I will say is it was always going to be a tough place to go. It always is, Anfield, and they had to do something as well after their recent form. So I think, look, we get back at home. I think the next two games are at home. I think Leeds and Villa. I'll be there, but you know what, Blues, I think we'll have enough in the tank to get the point in our home games. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much else about that experience last night, but for now anyway, let's get up in the air and have a look at this during midweek, and cover your questions and comments. Let's go. Okay guys, so we'll go straight up in the air. Gone definitely quiet there. Get up there right in front of the east stand. Need to get nice and high because there's always birds floating about. There's also just so you know, one thing I noticed, there is a NOTAM in place, which is a notice to airmen that's been put in place by Everton and Laing O'Rourke. Well, actually Laing O'Rourke, which says that they have a drone, or potentially might have a drone, a commercial operation in place from 8:30 this morning until 6:30 this afternoon. That is some battery that drone must have. But yeah, anyway, listen, there's that blue notice in place. They told us they were going to do that, but it doesn't stop us flying. Okay, it's just a notice to let us know that they're there. So it'll I'll just have even extra eyes on my drone and around the skies to make sure I'm not colliding or going near their drone. I can't see any drones in the sky. I also spoke to the security and asked if there was a drone in the air, and he said he doesn't think so. He said he thinks they said this morning about having one up there, but he doesn't think there's one up there now. But obviously he may not know, so I don't want to hold him to that or anything. But it's just to show that I did ask. And I also spoke to the Civil Aviation Authority, who did tell me that there's absolutely no flight restrictions in place. Down here, it's outside of the FRZ, so good to fly. Just follow the usual drone code that I always do. So there you go. Just thought I'd let you know that. So let's jump into these questions. As you can see, we're right in front of the east stand there, which is looking great, isn't it? Concrete going all the way along there now. I'll tell you what, I won't talk about it in case somebody addresses that though. So right, first up, I've got a couple of the same sort of message. I had loads of these and I really appreciate them. I just brought two or three. So first, Chris Lennon has said, shame on Everton, Laing O'Rourke for being difficult, especially when you make it so clear you're keeping on to safe distances and following all legal protocols. Keep on capturing our proud Everton history. Thanks, Chris. Next up, Urban Rider. The builders and clubs should give you guys a stadium tour and get you on site. It would be really good. PR, Chris. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Urban Rider. Yeah, so I wanted to bring those two up because after me reporting that we've been asked once again not to fly, and they said they're going to put these notices in place and all that, I had just so many messages of support, and I really appreciate you all. Thanks very much, guys. So that's just a couple of picked out. I appreciate all the support. Thanks, guys. Okay, so let's get into it then. Next up, we've got Nigel John, who says, hi Nick, loving the weekly updates. Only one question. The north upper stand looks quite small. Can this be expanded? Let's have a look. North upper. So north is over here, as we know. It's this one. Excuse me. Zoom in there. It does, doesn't it, Nigel? It does look quite small. When we pan across to the south stand, look at that one. Look at that one. I mean, that south is going to be our main stand, but the north is a lot smaller. You say, can it be expanded? No, I don't think so, because of how close that is behind. Nigel, I'm pretty sure it can't be, because of that, because of how close we've built to that. But on saying that, Nigel, you've said it looks quite small. Can it be expanded in that? But I mean, come on, this is going to be a state-of-the-art stadium, and yeah, it's smaller than the other stands, but it's still going to be a magnificent stand and so much better for us. And as I've said loads about Everton moving forwards and moving with the times, and this is doing it. So although I agree it's obviously going to be smaller, it's not too small, is it, Nigel, in my opinion? What does everybody else think? What does everybody else think on that? Let's move on. Andy ND, great video as always, thanks Andy. It's likely someone will buy the naming rights to the new stadium, but will you call it by its new name, or will you call it Goodison or the Everton Stadium? What do you think we should call it? Andy, that's a great question. I've heard that they plan to just call it the Everton. I'm going to go around this way. I hear that it's planned to just call it the Everton Stadium, but obviously I don't know if somebody comes in and pays big money for naming rights, then who knows what it could be called. Maybe something to do with the Mersey or something like that, with it being right on the Mersey. Yeah, what do I think we should call it? I don't know. I do like the kind of basicness and the easiness of the Everton Stadium. I don't know whether, like, I constantly call it the Everton Stadium at Bramley Moore Dock. Don't think we'd like to call it Bramley Moore Dock, would we? But maybe something to do with the docks. I don't know. I want to have a think about that one. Anybody else? Any suggestions on what we should call it, guys? Any suggestions at all? Okay, moving on. Jim Lightfoot. Just a quick question, Nick. When the big white cranes finally get removed, are you then allowed to get in closer, or do you still have to stay at the distance you've already been doing? Great videos always. Look forward to any more. Okay, Jim, really good question. So it depends on what side you're asking that. So how far away I am now, I don't even have to stay this far away. I do to be extra safe. If I fly in slow mode, then I can get quite a lot closer with the size of the drone I'm flying. But I just don't, because one, there's a couple of reasons. One, I like to be like extra safe and make sure I can kind of see everything. I also think being a bit further out like this helps us to see the stadium anyway. Sorry, a big truck's parked in the way of the signal between me and my drone. I just think it's better flying at this distance. I could get closer. So see, when the big cranes go, it'll be easier to obviously fly closer. But I think if you're asking from the likes of Everton and Laing O'Rourke, no, they've got this make-believe perimeter that goes round. That they did tell us in another email the other day, told us stretches right down to Nelson Dock and the car park right over there. Sorry, I say over there. If you look, it's right behind the south stand in there. So I don't think they'll be looking to change that. But you know, we can essentially fly where we want, as long as we're in accordance with the civil aviation rules and drone code, Jim. But I don't think they'll be looking at saying, okay, the cranes are down now, you can fly, fly where you want. But we can. I won't, by the way. I'm not. So anything I say like that, right? I'm not just going to out of spite and be completely disrespectful. What I will do is fly in accordance with the drone rules in all times, but also, you know, I won't fly over site and that when there's people working anyway. I wouldn't do that. It's like I say, it's about being safe, extra safe. Making sure you're not causing a nuisance. That's me anyway, personally, that's me. There are some other drone operators that purposely go out there, not here by the way, not any of the guys here. There's some people who have YouTube channels where their YouTube channel, and that's based on just being a nuisance. That's not me. I don't want to do that anywhere. So yeah, hope that answers you, Jim. Moving on, David Castor. Hi Nick, great views again, thanks David. I noticed some concrete walls have gone up at both corners of the south stand, so presumably that will be the next areas where they start doing the outer red brickwork. Okay, I'm not going to go up round the Merseyside, David, but let's have a look. If we come back round this way and see if we can have a look. I'm going to bring the drone down a bit to take out some of the wind. Still at 85 meters, guys. At both corners of the... Okay. David, it might be, I think, you know what? I'll have to go back to my video. I think they've started putting some up on the southwest corner, which is the other end. Down here at the southeast, there's not any yet. But I think up at the southwest, David, they have a look on my weekend video, but I'm pretty certain that they have, David. But yeah, I do think this will be the next one, definitely. This is the southeast we're looking at here. That will be the next one, and you can see if I pan across, that you'll see the northeast there, which has got quite a lot on now. Okay, thanks for that, David. Let's move on. Michael Jones says, looks great. I wonder why the north stand seating is lower than the other stands, similar to the Aviva in Dublin, but not to the same degree. The Aviva north stand is a very small stand because of the houses behind it, but there's only the river behind Everton north stand. Wouldn't it have been better to get as many seats in? Well, Michael, the river's not behind the north stand, as I've shown at the beginning. It's the it's the waste plant there. I constantly forget what this plant is, but it's like the date. I'm almost as bad as this unit as I am with the date. But yeah, so that's behind the north stand, Michael, not just the river, and that's why it is the size it is. Because of that, it was a bit restricted, but as I said at the beginning, I think it's still going to be like a fantastic, amazing upgrade, everyone. So I just don't see any problem with that north stand, personally. You said wouldn't it have been better to get as many seats in? I think they have. But yeah, thanks for that, Michael. Let's move on to Equinox, who says, hi mate, the stadium is getting its shape, which is great. Question, will the roof trusses be done in sections, like 2 roof trusses, one a month, etc., or am I talking rubbish? You're not talking rubbish, Equinox, of course not. But I left an answer in here from Graham Brandwood, because it's a really good, insightful answer, who says, there will be 2 complete trusses on the north stand, 3 sections to each truss, and 3 trusses on the deeper south stand, also 3 sections on. So yeah, so on the north we're 3 in, we're 2 in there, and so the north's nearly done. And as he said, the north stand, there's just 1 section to complete the 2 trusses. The south stand has a further 5 sections to go to complete its 3 trusses. So yeah, that'll be another 2 to add to that front one, and then another one in front of that. Apart from the lockdown during Christmas and New Year, it appears they have raised about 1 truss section per week. The week before last, the strong winds stopped any lifts. However, this week they made up for it with 2 lifts. With 6 lifts to go, I guess the team will be looking to complete all the trusses in about 6 weeks' time. Equinox, thanks for your question. And Graham, superb answer, really superb answer. Couldn't have said it better myself, and that's why I left it in there. So, if anybody didn't know, just to explain that, the north there has got just 1 more truss. I'll move around a bit. One more truss to add to that to complete the roof trusses on the north. You'll see it there, it's just missing at the end. And the south, if I just pan round from here, take a little zoom, the south has got, so you'll see you've got like the kind of back section which is complete. The one coming in front of it has just got one at the west end up there, so it's got the middle and the end, the east end, and then there's going to be one in front of that with another 3. So yeah, Graham, thanks very much. Great answer to Equinox's question. Equinox, I hope that explained it enough for you. Moving on, John Brown says, I attempted to fly my drone over the Mersey from the Eggy Ferry. So that's right over there, guys, in the far distance. In fact, if you can see in the distance where there's like a it's rocks that come out. Oh, sorry, rocks that come out in a patch of sand. That's where the Eggy is, I think, right there. I think. So, or it might be that one over there. There's another one. Sorry, it's one of them. But anyway, so John said, all went well until I got a wind warning and panicked, thinking I'd ditch it in the river. Need a bit more practice, I think. Do you video in cine mode? Shame you're getting grief from Everton Laing O'Rourke because you always stick to the rules they give you. Keep them coming, Nick. Okay, so I do film in cine mode most of the time, John, because there's a few reasons. One, all your sensors are on your drone to tell you, although you've got visual line of sight all the time, of course, but your sensors give you those extra warnings if you're at all close to anything. 2, it gives you better footage. And 3, in cine mode, you can actually get closer to uninvolved people and objects. Okay, so that's why. So yeah, always in cine mode. Regarding the wind warning, John, all you need to do if you're flying over, always check the wind. If the wind's over, if you're trying to fly over the Mersey, I'd say if the wind is stronger than like 15, and this is wind gusts 50 mile an hour. If it's stronger than that, give yourself loads of time to get back. It can still be done though. If it's stronger than 20, the wind gusts, I probably just wouldn't bother. Okay, but the drone will do it, and the drone will tell you when it needs that time to come back. Okay, but yeah, just be careful, mate. And it is practice, loads of practice. Right. Then we've got Top Cat Coolio. Is there any more seats stands to be added below the south stand blue cop? As seems a gap at bottom, not in line with the sides unless temporary for material access. Yeah, okay, so there's a gap either side. I think you'll find. Top Cat Coolio. It's a Coolio name. So there, yeah, it's for access, mate, and they're putting seats right down. Look, if you look at all the stands, go across. Look at them all. Go across to the north here. They're not filled in right to the bottom yet. They can't be because they need site access. They need to get things in and out. So yeah, they will be doing that though. At the end, I think when the roof's finished, is when they'll be putting them on. Because when the roof's finished, it stopped like all the heavy lifting, so the cranes can go out in that, and that's when I think they'll fill in those bottom sections. Top Cat Coolio. Okay, so yeah, guys, there you go. That brings me to the end. We are 17 minutes long, which is perfect. That brings me to the end of these questions and comments. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to bring the drone down now and finish off this video. Okay everyone, there you go. That was my midweek video on Tuesday the 14th of February 2023 of the Everton Stadium at Bramley Moore Dock. Oh, that sun, I was going to walk around to the front and finish the video there, but the sun's a killer, so I won't. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed me covering the questions and comments that you'd put over to me. Any more, guys, drop them down below. Do you know what? On my weekend video though, I used this midweek one as kind of a platform for you all to discuss any of the questions and comments. It's the stand, the naming the stadium is a good one, isn't it? So any thoughts and any suggestions on that would be really good if you drop them down. We'll have a little discussion about them. But yeah, other than that, guys, like I say, I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little little bit of a shame that that there was a NOTAM up, but do you know what? It could also be, if it's, as long as it's not done in spite and in an attempt to stop us flying, because what Everton and Laing O'Rourke said is that they're going to put them in place, or try and put them in place, Monday from 8:30 a.m. until Friday 6:30 p.m. Now that's just being a bit spiteful and trying to cause issues. Whereas if they've put it in place today because they were actually flying today, that's totally acceptable, and in fact it's responsible, and they should have been doing that all along, to let us know they had a drone in the air. So that's, like I say, that's totally acceptable. So yeah, but I don't know, we'll see. So if there's one in place tomorrow, the day after, then like I say, it's a little bit it's just a little bit kind of maybe spiteful, and I hope that's not the case. I'm sure it's not as well. But yeah, and like I say, I explained in the video, it's perfectly fine to fly here, okay, under the circumstances. But yeah, guys, other than that, as I said, I appreciate all of your support. Please like, share and subscribe. If you would like to buy me a beer, you can do so using this link. No pressure whatsoever, only if you'd like to. And for any branded clothing, merch, so to speak, follow this link down below. Guys, thanks very much. Oh, lastly, before I go, my weekly football show, the next episode will be out this Friday, tea time. I have a Newcastle fan on this week. We'll be discussing Newcastle as well as other things that's happened in the football world this week. And there's a few. Do you know what I've come to realise when I've started this? Loads happens, but I can only discuss so many. But anyway, guys, Newcastle fan in Friday should be a good one. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you all. Take care. Bye.